In this little snippet of our live stream, we actually get a chance to look at a new character, well, at least someone that we thought was a new character, but we actually discover halfway through the live stream, this is someone who we've met before, but we didn't realize who it was. So find out who this new character is. Well, not new character, but you get what I'm saying. Also, we get a really interesting Roman scene coming up at the end here too. So let me know your thoughts about all of this. We've looked through all the little hidden things that we found throughout the week. This is a really interesting episode, so stick around to the end. And then coming into day 24, it looks like we're shooting some more things with some Pharisees in the temple area. Again, this is the court of women right here in this area. And if you look at the very far end, you're going to see the staircase that leads into kind of the main temple area back there. What we've seen mostly in The Chosen has been Solomon's portico or Solomon's porch, and then the court of women. That's mainly what we've seen so far in The Chosen, but we're going to see a little bit more in this season, and then, yeah, we'll kind of see where it goes from there. We've also seen the Sanhedrin, obviously, but most of that was actually shot back in Texas, so not really here in the temple in Utah there. But let's continue on, see what day 24 has for us. So we've got a bunch of different Pharisees and Sadducees here, some of which we recognize, obviously. We see Yusuf right there, as well as Sean Sharma, who plays Shmuel. Now, we also see the one in the middle there is the same guy that we met in Season 4, if you've seen it. No spoilers there, no big things, but just another Pharisee that we met. And that guy looks really interesting. I don't know if he is a principal extra or if he's a specific important character in the scene. We'll have to see. But we also see Gadara, who is someone that we met in Season 4 as well. He's a Sadducee. And so we've been talking about him for well over a year, so that's not a spoiler either. But Gadara is back there as well. He's been kind of the main antagonist for Jesus in the last little bit here. So kind of taking the place of Shmuel a little bit in terms of where he sits in the kind of line of things. Then we see them setting up a shot somewhere either on Simon's portico or maybe they're going to be walking out of this doorway or something like that. I'm not exactly sure where the shot is for here. Again, I think this is a little bit old, but it might be from this week. I can't remember. No, I think this is from this week. I think it's the same day that we just went over with Dallas there. With all the Pharisees here, yeah. So they are avoiding him now, but there's definitely a new character. That guy that we saw earlier, obviously we saw him in the other clip. Let me go back a little bit. So this guy that we saw earlier, he shows up in the other clip and he's standing with the other main actors. This would be really random if he was just some random extra or whatever. They don't really get to stand with first team or the actors and just like hang out with them too often. And so I'm assuming that he is a more prominent character that's part of that first team kind of like actors that are actually acting in this thing instead of being a background. So I don't know who this is. We haven't seen him before. Looks maybe similar to someone who we saw last week, which a lot of us are theorizing is some sort of temple administrator. And so that could be part of what we're seeing here as well. But that character in this shot right here is obviously standing with them. You can see him right there in the back. If you can see my cursor right there. So you see him standing with the other Pharisees, and Sean Sharma and Dallas is right here. And everybody kind of getting ready for this shot here. Oh, interesting. The important guy in red with a tall hat is Dinesh. Ah, okay. The guy that they talked to, that Shmuel and Yanni talked to. Is that right? Is that really him? Let me see. It does look like him, yeah. But totally different outfit, though. Why? Yeah, I think it is him. You guys let me know what you think. Interesting. It's always so weird seeing all the Pharisees without their head stuff on because they look so different. Same thing with the women when they cover their hair completely and then they take their hair out. It's always jarring for me to like re-recognize somebody, you know. So there's Yusuf there, Dallas giving him some instruction for this scene.
Yes.
Another shot of Yusuf here from Jelaine. And those other characters as well. Someone trying to fix the hat on that red guy's head there.
Woo! Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom, I'm on BTS.
All right, and here is a really interesting scene. I hope you like what you're watching so far, but if you want to see the entire live stream, which is over 2 hours long, and we spoke about so much in that, then you can go to snipesupport.com, and this is the best way to help support us to continue to make videos like this and to continue to spend dozens of hours every single week just researching about The Chosen and other Christian media projects. Really, truly, it's what we love to do, and we want to continue to do it. So if you want to support us in that, go to snipesupport.com, and that would really help us out. Anyway, let's get back to the video. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here, but for at least a portion of this day, if not the entire day here, they shot a scene with some Romans kind of out in either wintry kind of dead wood or maybe a burnt down wood. I'm not exactly sure what's happening here, but obviously we're on the side of a road. There's a ton of Romans here, and we've seen a bunch of Roman-ish props kind of all over the place in terms of behind the scenes this week. And so, yeah, cool stuff here. So I can't tell if that is a crucifixion going on. It might be. I just can't tell exactly what's happening, but they say something at the beginning of this clip. Let's try to listen one more time, and I'll turn it up for you guys, so watch out, headphone users. So I can't hear exactly what that word is. If anybody can hear what that word is, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear it, but he shouts out something here. I can't tell if this is a crucifixion that's happening or if it's, I don't know. I really don't. But we can hear kind of like a banging, almost like a hammer hitting a nail there. And then we see all the Romans here. But anyway, so this is what I'm talking about. We get some other iconography. So maybe there's a Roman soldier that has died, and now they are commemorating a grave or something like that. That's what this kind of gives me the vibes of. However, I don't know. That seems kind of weird. Like, what Roman would die that would be important during this time? I don't really know. Because Gaius obviously isn't here. There's some other people that we would care about, but they're not really like here during that time. Yeah, I don't know. This could just be a prop that's sitting there and they want to take a cool picture, so this is the way it was. Also, Drakeinator, Adam Drake, who is assistant director, we'll talk about him a little bit later as well, because there's an app video that talks about him and kind of tells you a little bit more about his job. However, here, he's the one that posted this. This is on his birthday as well. So we'll get a little bit of a sneak peek about that too right here as everybody sings happy birthday. So we've got a bunch of people out here. So we know that this is during his birthday. This is definitely an outside scene. So this is kind of the sleuthing that I try to go through even on these birthday videos, right? We've got Simon Z, we've got Thaddeus, we've got little James there. We've got almost all the apostles, right? We've got Thomas, Big James, Philip, Andrew, Peter, and that's all I see there, but we could have all of them there or most of them there. Maybe for a walk and talk, maybe for a simple scene, maybe it's just a transitional scene, who knows, but there's a lot of different things it could be. So happy birthday, Adam. Hope you had a great day, and yeah, always praying for you for sure. Continuing on. Now, this was a really interesting thing. Austin, who plays Nathaniel, put together this reel kind of showing us some behind the scenes from his perspective, which actually shows us some unique things throughout the season so far that they've shot that we didn't get from some other places. So this is pretty cool. And again, I took out the sound on this because it's copyrighted music, so I can't really use it. But we see here Nathaniel with Big James as they are carrying these big torches. I believe this is the scene that we saw last week, maybe, but we theorized that this could possibly be them descending or ascending into the Mount of Olives to the Garden of Gethsemane from the temple. This is definitely a possibility for sure, because we counted and we could only really count 11 apostles, so we weren't sure if this was the Garden of Gethsemane or John 17, where Jesus is praying the high priestly prayer. We weren't 100% sure what this is, but it could be that. So anyway, keep on going. A bunch of little clips here that he's put together. Some just artistic little clips, some that show us what they're filming and what's kind of going on. We see Peter and Philip and some others down there. It definitely does seem from the filming that we're going to get more of Philip this season, which is great. Maybe last season they were wary about giving him a ton of lines and everything else because of the change of the actor, and they were getting used to having him on set. But this season it looks like they're utilizing him quite a bit more, which is cool. So a bunch of the extras there. We see him walking through the Jerusalem set, which is just a cool set, man. I love being there. It's really cool. A lot of the props and stuff, really, really cool stuff. Of course, Utah is just beautiful in itself. Again, some of the market area. We see little James there. There's a donkey there. That's, I believe, Thunderstruck, the donkey that we've talked about before is part of the triumphal entry. And I think this is them coming into the city during that entry, at least a piece of it. We can see there some palm fronds held up behind them, as well as a backpack that Matthew is holding, Jesus' backpack there. And we see them all coming in. I believe this is a part of the triumphal entry here as well, probably leaving from Bethany and going into the city. And here we see a bunch of people crowded up in Jerusalem. Again, part of the set there, just beautiful. A bunch of people going into the temple in this area here. We got Andrew looking out towards the sunset. We see everything that's happening there. Let me go back to that one scene. So this is the big extra scenes that we saw before. Pretty much same things. We're going to talk about a little bit more here in a bit, but that's that section right there. And we see a Roman as he is patrolling what looks like the triumphal entry as well. Again, this is stuff that we've seen several weeks ago. One of the very first things they filmed, obviously, was the triumphal entry and everything happening there. So we see everybody with the palm fronds kind of going in here. Now, this is a really interesting scene that we didn't get access to before. We haven't seen anything about this, but we obviously see Big James running into Solomon's porch, or the Solomon porch area of the Temple Mount. And you see him actually throw off his cloak here that he was wearing. So we'll rewind and look at that one more time. But I have a good feeling that is during a scene where we're going to see some tables flipping, if you know what I mean there. So we see him running in as some other people are running away. And we see him throwing off that cloak, and that is running towards the money changers there, which is a really cool thing. Again, we see Simon the Zealot posing. And then we see some of the other guys. This is a walk and talk that was done a few weeks ago with Joanna as well. Actually, no, it wasn't. This is from last week, I think. Yeah, I think this is from this week, actually, maybe. Yeah. That's during like the storm that we just saw. I think so. Yeah. I think this is during the storm that we just saw, where they had to pack up everything and get out. So this is during this week, I think. So we got Judas, John, and Andrew here. And then we have Jonathan looking forward, contemplating. So yeah, that's that there. Now remember, we can read these slates a little bit. As far as we know, this is episode 5, and then scene 8 of episode 5, I think. I can't remember how to, if that's actually accurate, but from what we've done previously, I think that's the case. So they're probably filming episode 5 here, and this is take 2 of that specific scene. So yeah, and then on there obviously has the Chosen Season 5, and then it's got Dallas and Akisa's names on it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and definitely leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.